And
All by yourself.
pretty much, yep. And man, I woke up this morning and I was like, oh my god, my voice is just shot. Like, I've been
What have
nursing
I
it all
done?
day, like just. So most of the like scratchy dryness is gone, but it's still pretty. Just feels weak. Like if I talk too loudly, I'll have to clear my throat a whole bunch.
Alright, let's see. Spinning. Alright, I'm on board now. Let's see. Let me get my stuff together.
I was just watching Lunar, but he's invalidated, so I'm trying to find another driver.
Let's see. Yeah.
Carson, going slow. He's not really pushing. I got a few guys leaving the pit lane right now.
Alright, let's see. Sam's on an out lap. Anybody on a hot lap? Nope. Nope, not Carson. Well, I'm just going to stick with our good buddy, Damn Sam. Sam the man, Damn Sam.
He's on the out lap, right? So, I gotta say, this track, I'm not sure what it is today, but visually, just very nice looking compared to some of the other circuits we're at. Like, just watching the Mercedes come down some of these, like, iconic parts of the track, you know, like this main straight in the pit lane is so familiar to old F1 fans, and obviously this corner here where
The Senna chicane.
Yeah, that too. That chicane didn't exist before the crash, right?
So, good job, Sam. Nice.
Is that what all the older guys call the chicanes they put in after his death, all Senna chicane?
Oh, what?
Well, they put a lot of chicanes in to slow down the cars in certain high-speed corners after Senna died, right? So.
Yeah. Yeah, when that was awful.
I can't imagine. I mean, I was a little kid. I remember like my dad used to watch F1, and I would, obviously get up and he was always up early watching F1, so I'd come downstairs, and I remember that day. Obviously, didn't really understand the magnitude of it until I got
right.
later, but I do remember him saying something bad happened with Senna, and I was like, oh, because I loved, obviously, my dad loved Senna, so I loved Senna because I was a little 4-year-old kid, right? So.
Yeah, he was, it just sucked. You could tell, too, because there was this helicopter view looking down after he crashed, and I could see his head, like I say, it was moving involuntarily. It was, just kind of a little hiccup, and his head was moving, bobbling a little bit, and I said, that is not good. And, so what they did was, I think, that's when they added the tethers, or they improved the tethers so that the tires didn't come off, because that's what happened when he hit the wall. Tire hit him in the head.
Well, I think it was the suspension. I thought it was the suspension arm
that
went through his visor or something, right?
Yeah, that it was. I believe it's because it was still attached to the tire. And I'd heard that too. I know the tire hit him. And I heard exactly what you heard, that there was a hole in his helmet or visor, like the hole from the strut or whatever you want to call it.
It's like the arm, the suspension arm, essentially. Yeah, one of the 4 rods or whatever. Yeah, I mean, basically just a freak accident, right? And that's also the reason that the cars are. Back in the day, you could see the driver's arms and their shoulders, and now you really only just see their head, right? So,
yeah.
That was
I understand all the safety shit, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't do what they've done. It just, the element of risk can be mitigated, but not to the point where it's like, they're in a bubble, or a bubble wrap or whatever, because, I don't know, I think that if the drivers are well protected, then the guys that are braver don't have the advantage anymore. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you could be a great driver, but if you're a little timid, just a little bit, that could be, half a second, a tenth, whatever it is. And if you feel so protected that I don't know. To me, it just takes away that risk element.
Yeah, like, you know, going flat out through, I mean, 130R is a bit of a joke now, but that was a corner where, like you said, where, you know, my shoulders and neck and head are exposed, and I don't get this corner right, and I'm in the wall. Well, it's a little less of a problem nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
you're more likely to take that corner flat out because you have a halo, you have your shoulders protected, but, you know, there's a lot of protection on the car. So I
Yep,
think the
yep.
halo was a good sort of compromise to keep the car open.
I think that's fine, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen it save plenty of drivers from, at minimum, injury, if not death. So, you know, for that simple reason, I think all the safety improvements are warranted. I'm not a huge fan of the aero screen in IndyCar. I don't like the look of that. It's aesthetic. It's not aesthetically pleasing, just because it does, like you said, look like they're in a bubble.
It's just, you know, again, I mean, when I was a kid growing up watching racing, it was dangerous. You know, I mean, it's still dangerous, but back then it was, you know, it was really dangerous. And, you know, that was not that you wanted to ever see anybody die, but you never knew what you were going to see.
Right.
All right. Well, as we were chatting, Seye decided to go 3.5 tenths faster than Spin and win.
Spin and win, yeah.
So, and Jennett just came in. So Jennett's, I'm sure that.
Pits too.
Let's see who's the furthest. So Sam is about ready to start his next to last or last qualifying attempt.
All right, let's get on board with Sam. He'll take us around a lap of Imola. I think we've had enough nostalgia chat for the time being.
Oh, nice. He was able to get on the throttle really quick there.
Yeah, he nailed that. Little deep there. Missed that apex.
Ooh, that was good. I feel like a lot of times if you hit that inside curb, or at least in the seasons, the previous renditions of this game, you could really lose it. Oh, wow.
No,
did not invalid. Lost a lot of time, though.
Yeah. I'd say this sector's probably the trickiest. Would you agree with that, sector 2?
Yes, that especially that that right-hander uphill with the quick, you know, left after approaching that second, the last chicane. The cars are handling so much better though than they were in the previous game, and so I don't think that we're going to see as many guys spinning out over there as we have in the past.
Yeah, I don't think I've even seen a yellow flag yet this session. So that's good. Sam bailed on that lap, right?
Yep. And Carson's on a hot lap here, I believe. He just started it. And it seems like he's pushing, and he did well going through there. Carson currently about 3.5 tenths. Oh, he's backed out.
Carson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying he backed out of it, it looks like. Looks like he got some pickup on his left tire as well. Did he have a moment?
So Spin and Win apparently is starting his hot lap. Currently sitting P2. Only, what, a tenth and a half? Out of first.
Yeah, he's not far off. I mean, I remember early in the season when he first raced, I was saying he might be the one that kind of like shake things up between Seye and Jennett. Maybe got a third party in there mixing it up with them.
Yeah, and it looks like that is the case, huh?
Mm-hmm. It appears so.
Ooh, he did not invalidate. Same thing Sam had done. Now this corner right here.
You watching Gord?
No. I'm on Spin and Win.
I think he may have done his lap already. He had no battery left.
Yeah, and he's 7 tenths off, so just seeing that now.
Yeah, I'm watching Gord.
Okay.
Gord is up 8 tenths on his previous run.
Ooh,
barely
that
keeps
was
it on the limit there.
Very sloppy.
Yeah, but 8 tenths up would put him right where Jennett is, roughly. So he could be looking up at top 2 start if he can find another couple tenths in in this
You
final
gotta
sector.
get on the throttle. Yep, he was able to get on the throttle pretty quickly.
Didn't quite get on it as early as he could have, but it was not bad.
Nope, so
Definitely
P3.
just barely jumped in it.
Let's see. Lunar. Let's see. Lunar seems to be pushing. Oh, a little deep there. He's up a tenth and a half. That would move him to P6 ahead of Adri.
Sorry, for Carson?
I'm on with Lunar Jedi.
Lunar, okay, just jumped on board with him, sorry. I
Nope,
was going to say,
okay.
I just, our catcher just hit a home run into the second deck, and I was going to say yesterday, Guerrero hit one into the second deck while we were there, so that was cool.
Ooh, that was close, but well done for Lunar. Coming through that last chicane there, it's so easy to go wide on the exit. And well done through here. This will probably move him up a couple spots. At least. I can put him on the pole.
Wow, look at that. Lunar Jedi up to, and he was having connection issues, I think, or was it private that had...
Oh, Say had to back out. How much time left? I don't think he has enough time to go around again.
No, there's no way. He's done. Let's get on board with Jinnit. Just started his lap.
Yeah, I think he bailed.
Jinnit bailed as well?
Yep. Oh, actually, wait a second. Now he's... I could have sworn that he was up like freaking 3/10. I mean, down, whatever. But now it...
When I got on board with him, it said plus 28, but I was like, well, that can't be right.
Okay, yeah, okay. So that's what I was seeing. I thought, okay, he's bailed on it. He's just cruising around. But no, he had bettered his time through. Ooh, and he's
up a 10th. That's not enough, really, unless he's missing a lot of time in this final sector, and maybe that's where he's going to make it up.
Well, the 10th would be enough to get him to P4. He'd be in the second row.
And we might have a really tasty scrap for the win here. This is 5 drivers that are, I mean, Lunar and Gord putting up times that I know they're capable of, but haven't really seen all that much. And now Jinnit puts himself in P4. So, I mean, the top 5 really all pretty close to one another. Like, there's only a little gap between them. So
Adri's up 3/10, just over 3/10, and he's approaching the last 2 turns. I think he is our last qualifier, too. Oh, nice. He should improve quite a bit. Oh, shoot. I didn't see. 5th, okay. Well, that does it for quali. Lunar Jedi, Say 500ths behind. Spin and win in P3 with 2/10 back, 3/10 back for Jinnit. P5 is Adri, 3/10 back. Gord Sauce, 4/10 back in 6th. 7th is Carson, 8th is Sam.
that's pretty nuts, man. The top 7 all within a 10th of each other.
I know.
All the way down.
You got Zemoglis over in P9 and Sniper in 10th. Private Jet Jew 11th. Oh, I gotta advance before I can get to the rest of this. Private 11th, Spot Up in 12th. Oh.
I think it was RC 13th and then Villeneuve at the bottom.
There you go. I really like this track.
Looks like it might rain. I do really like this track as well, especially because it's not like a track I've seen for 10 seasons straight. You know, it's been sort of a newer one for us, and I don't think we've raced it every season since it was put in the game. So it's definitely something to consider there.
Yeah, it just offers a lot. You got a lot of high, 2 or 3 spots, high speed. Um, Plenty of chicanes that you really have to stay on top of. I really like that corner that we were talking about where it was really easy to spin out. I mean, a couple seasons ago, I remember we were just watching car after car freaking spin out over there.
Yeah, the one that's kind of like you're just cresting at the top of the hill, and then the right
Yeah,
is the right left, and you're starting to come back down again.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly which one you mean. And it was always that second part. People would kind of get the car going, and once it would start rotating, it would just lose
you're
and
all
step
done.
right out on them.
And oh my God, the game has really improved on that part where you can start to lose the back end of the car, but you have a chance now to recover. The car wants to
Yeah.
recover more or less, which I think that's fantastic. That happened to me once or twice in a race where I thought I was a goner and I was able
Yeah.
to save the car. And it was like,
And I
wow,
think
cool.
that's something that pretty much saved the game in all honesty, because the amount of people that dropped out and didn't want to play after last season just because, like Puff, for example, like Puff was just like, I'm sick of the goddamn game. He's like, I can't, I just keep spinning. It's like I always spin. And even he's like, I do the lap the same over and over and over, and I fucking spin again anyway. And he's like, I just can't be bothered anymore. So
Yeah.
the death of Puff, brought on by poor physics. My poor cat hasn't had any treats for a couple of days. I just got him some today, so I'm sure he's amped.
Yeah, we've lost Puff. We've lost Doth.
Doth's been gone for a while, though. That was always sort
D-Zyg.
of
Yeah.
it was always
Zyg.
sort of an issue for Doth because of his lawyer job. He just had no bloody time. Now he's touring North America, hitting long drives everywhere.
I know it, right?
Yeah, it's hilarious, man. Follow him on Instagram. So he's like, every week he's in a different town, like doing long drive tournaments, which is, I mean, if I could hit the driver half the distance he could, I'd actually be a half decent golfer. My driving is literally the worst part of my game, and I'm pretty decent at everything else.
All right, formation lap, and you're right. It does. It is overcast. So I don't think has Lunar started front row this season. It's been Seye and Jinnit. I know Lunar's.
No,
He's been up
he's
there.
definitely one of the quicker drivers. Right off the hop. Right off the hop at the start of the season, he looked like he was going to be in the mix, but I don't know if he's missed a couple races or something. He just hasn't really been like a standout for me lately.
So looking at the tire selection here, everybody is on the mediums with 2 exceptions. Gord Sauce in P6 is on the hards, and Spot Up Triples in P12 is also on the hards. Interesting. Now, is that strategizing
Because
for
of
potential rain?
Yeah. You would think that more people would have taken the hards if they
Yeah.
were thinking, like, hey, it's going to rain lap 10. Might as well get the mediums on. And then there's, of course, Gordon Spot Up maybe gambling on the fact that the rain might not happen, and maybe they go deep and everybody else is on sort of the wrong strategy. The reverse strategy always seems to work better, but you kind of need that outright pace to do it. Like Gord actually belongs probably in the top 4, but just qualified 6th today, so it might work for him. The reverse strat could work pretty well, but you got to be rapid on that hard tire in the first part. So
Yeah, because guys will be behind you looking to get around real quick. And you can't feel too confident on those hards going into the first turn or 2 or 3.
yeah.
And you're going to have guys around you, particularly if they see that you're on the hard tires. They're going to try to, put a move on you, knowing that they'll have the grip.
All right, that's it. The grid is reformed. Looks like we're good to go. We have 3, 4, 5 lights on. And we are racing in Imola. I cannot see who got a good start because the camera angle is horrific.
Terrible.
Horrific camera angle. Here we
wow, Say got the jump on Lunar on the inside. Oh my god, guys. Wow.
Everybody threw clean for the most part, it looks like. Didn't see anything too rough. No pieces of carbon flying off anyone's car.
No, looks good so far.
Everybody threw clean. It all looks very good. All right. I love when we get through the first few corners, no problems, because then we kind of know we've kept the status quo, and we should get some good racing.
Luna got a little loose coming out of that turn, and now he's got Jinnit on the inside.
All over him.
And
and Jinnit.
You had to give that up pretty much. Now this is the turn that I was referring to here. It was so easy to spin out there.
Okay, yeah. Ooh, major corner cut there from Adri. Oh no!
Oh no! Oh, we got
Spinning's
out. And so is Adri. And we have a safety car.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
That's too bad. Damn.
Yeah, spin and win. There's not a damn thing he could have done there, but I don't know why Adri ended up in that spot. He ended up he cut the chicane, ended up with a penalty, and then lost the car, which is understandable because he's probably lost all his grip. But I mean, spin and win, literally nothing he could do. And now, of course, Adri out because he was stranded on the road. I mean, that sucks for both guys. Spin and win did nothing wrong. Adri, you know, had a little spin, but yeah, just couldn't. I mean, once you're stopped in that situation, how do you get the car turned around without causing chaos, right? So I don't think you had much of a choice but to sit there. But you know, you gotta think like, you know, I don't know what. I think most guys know that the ghosting's off, so I don't think that would have been the issue. I think spin and win maybe just had nowhere to go, or I was always thinking, like, if you're racing in cockpit and you come around a corner when you've been racing really tight with somebody and someone has spun in front of you, like, there's very slim chance you're going to see that until it's too late. Because your line of sight is just so much more limited, right? When you're sitting on that T-cam view, you can see a little bit ahead as well, so.
Well,
that sucks, man. That's 2 quick guys we've lost early. Like, Spinning could have been challenging for a win here, and he's out of the picture now. And Adri, of course, looking for a good result. He needs a strong result. It looks like he had pace here today, so that's disappointing for both guys in a variety of ways. Yeah, man, it just sucks. There's this corner right here, I believe, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the safety car is not coming in this lap. I know it's not been quite a full lap yet, but I mean, the cars were all caught up. Oh well.
I suppose that's the benefit to having a short track, is that we don't have to sit here for 10 minutes watching a safety car go
right.
around Spa once.
So the strategy for those on the medium tires, I mean, they just saved themselves a good lap and a half on these tires.
Yeah.
And you know, I wonder, so I haven't done any practice on this, so I really have no idea of the tire wear, how long these tires will last. But Jinnit in the last couple races, correct me if I'm wrong, certainly one of them, he stretched his tires out to jump onto the softs to finish the race. Do you think that that's something that can happen in this race?
Sorry, what was the...
So Jinnit, at least one race, if not the last 2 races, didn't Jinnit extend his stint on, I think it was the mediums, and then he went to the softs. Do you foresee anything like that possibly happening here now that we've had a safety car that can, you know, protect their tires a little bit here for 2 or 3 laps? Well, 2 laps.
Definitely. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Jinnit on a normal situation. He's a very good racer. And once he gets into the race, it's where he does his damage. Obviously, he's got that pace, but he knows how to make sure his tires get to the end. You know, if he's racing wheel to wheel and he needs clear air to make his strategy work, he'll push and use up tire, battery, whatever, to get himself in a spot where he can now control the pace.
Mm-hmm.
And where he gets to a point where he can just kind of manage the gap, that's where he usually will extend. If he's, you know, stuck in a train and he can't get by anybody and he's burning up his tires, and that would be a situation where I would expect him almost to maybe pit early and undercut, but it just never really seems to happen. He's always out front, sort of setting the pace or at least pushing for the win. So it also doesn't hurt to stay right behind, say, if you can't get by him, it's not bad to hang out behind and just kind of manage the tires and then just react to whatever he does, right? So.
Yep. I wonder. Oh, and there goes Say. He's taking off.
Nap in there a little bit. And here comes Carson. Now Carson, I think it's time for redemption for Carson, because he's had a lot of good drives and just hasn't quite delivered the result yet. Looks like he is in prime position to do that today, so we'll see if he can convert it. He's had some bad luck, or maybe just got tangled in a collision fighting for a result and just hasn't quite gotten there yet. He's been on the podium a couple times, but I mean, deserved better is what I'm thinking. So
yeah, Say, boy, he would really like to see Lunar and Carson get up and start hassling Janet. I mean, Say's already built up over a second. Well, right at that 1 second mark.
Look at this shot we've got. We got the nice chopper cam following Carson and Lunar around Imola. Like, that was glorious. A beautiful lap there. The broadcast view on this track is pretty good for the most part, except for that race start. That was really bad.
Yeah, I was looking at the back of the freaking.
Yeah, grid. I was watching P20. the front runners were around the bend before like, it was like, what are you doing? Like.
All right, Say's put in the fastest lap, but Janet's closing in on him. Look at this. I wonder if Janet's running a slipperier setup. We'll find out here in the more technical part.
Carson all over Lunar, and Zimoglis is putting some pressure on Sam. Got a nice little train forming back here. Sam, Zem, Sniper, all looking to improve their spot. Carson's going for it. Around the outside on Lunar.
Gets it done.
Very, very nicely done. And Carson, I think, just based on the way he closed and was right there, I would think he's the quicker driver now that he's got the position. I'd imagine he'll just pull away for the most part. He probably can kind of go hang with Jinnit and
that would be fun.
I could definitely see it happening.
Gortsas coming out of that last chicane there got a little wiggly coming out of the second part of that chicane. Those hard tires are... he's doing fine. He's held on to the position quite well. He's 2 seconds behind Lunar, but Sam is a second and a half, so he's got his cushion. He just needs to settle in now and get those tires as far as he can. He should be able to go to the softs to finish, I would think.
Gord for sure, yeah.
Particularly if we keep...
softs are only good for like 3 or 4 laps, but that
are they?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I haven't practiced either, like I said, so I really don't know. Whoa! It looked like he snapped the back end again a little bit.
I was just saying it might be maybe like they're just totally useless, so people won't bother. But I have noticed this game, it seems that the medium soft strategy works more often than not. So I don't think we've really seen any like severe time tracks.
RC and Private came together a little bit, and nice. Private let RC take the position. They kind of came into contact, and RC had to go a little wide, and Private kind of led up to give him that position.
Yeah, Private also has lost that spot to spot up triples as well now. I wonder if that just maybe
yeah, he kind of
hurt himself by letting the place go.
Yeah, it's awful hard to let one guy go and not...
Oh no, 3 wide into the first real corner. Ay, ay, ay. Looks like Sniper hangs on to 7th. Zem P6. Now we're getting some good action here. Sam, it looks like he got passed by both guys, so. Nice battle going on here for P6, and then everybody else starting to spread out a little bit. Nothing too drastic at the moment. And of course, Janet and Say glued together like usual.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to leave them
Where
alone.
would we be for the last 2 seasons without those two, really?
Yeah. Yeah, since Packer left, that really opened up the door for these guys. And it's been great. I mean, we're in for a treat every week with these two. But actually, the entire field, really.
Yeah, honestly, like, even, you know, I'm not shocked that these guys have pulled away, but, like, the fact that our top, you know, 3, 4, 5 places are also spread out from one another is a little surprising. It's usually not quite like that, so, obviously, with the different strategy Gord's running, Gord's actually in a really good spot with those hard tires right now.
I'm really surprised that Lunar has fallen back as far as he has. He's almost 6 seconds back of the lead. Now, this is your pole sitter. And, I mean, it's one thing to get a really fast lap, but...
oh, who's that off? That's Zem. No damage, it doesn't look like, so...
Nope, looks good.
Just gonna get those tires sorted and you'll probably be okay. Could use a safety car maybe and hope him close back up and get back up to Janet here.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if Lunar is just trying to manage his tires to stretch the life of those and maybe go to the softs to finish. Because there's no way he is that much slow. I mean, we could see it in the qualifying. I mean, his race pace can't be that much different.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit on board with him for half a lap. He does seem to be very gentle. Well, Janet close, but not close enough. He's braking. Like, his steering input is so minimal. It's very smooth, steady.
Yeah.
He's not stomping on the pedal. Like, you're very well could be right there. It might actually just be trying to manage. Because Gord behind isn't really going to put a lot of pressure on hard tires, right? So there's not a huge risk to lose ground. But, you know, really what's... like, if he has much better tires at the end, Lunar...
yeah,
you know, what's a second, really? A second you can make up easy, right? If you lose a second for managing, who cares?
Yeah, particularly with these chicanes, they're just, what is there, like 3 of them. That you can really have an advantage there with the softer compound tire. If you're on the soft tires and everybody else is on the mediums or the hards.
I believe Sam had an issue, he's dropped. Maybe give Zem something to do.
Now, Janet's fallen back quite a bit. I mean, he's still in DRS, however.
Yeah, Zem's got someone to race now. Sam's falling out right in front of him.
Well, the skies have cleared up. I don't know if you've picked up on that, but maybe we're not going to get any rain.
So Gord now passed by Sniper, so if Lunar is managing, it might be time to turn up the whip a little bit. Maybe he is just struggling. He has dropped ground for both those guys.
Oh, we got RC went a little wide into the dirt. Spot up. Oh no, 5-second penalty for... Oh, we have a safety car. Oh no, is Sam out?
Yeah.
Sam is out. Oh no.
Where did that happen?
Zem got a 5-second penalty for contact with Sam, so I didn't see it, but the contact ended up causing Sam his race. And I think Zem might have lost his wing. Yeah, Zem's without a front wing, so he'll be boxing. Oh, he goes wide.
Curious. I imagine it was, well, remember Sam was right in front of Zem, and generally you see those severe collisions happen when someone,
Leaders are in.
like the game doesn't really seem to give people penalties unless they're not for like, you know what I mean, wheel to wheel type stuff. It's
Yeah.
more of like a you slammed into another car thing.
So
Maybe Sam had a moment.
yeah, yeah. That what I was talking about earlier, where you can lose the back end and save it. If you're the driver behind and you see that happening, and you think that the car is going to
Gord stayed
continue to.
out.
Gord is what? Yeah, he stayed
Gord
out. Yep.
stayed out. Well, yeah, he was on the hards. Okay.
Yep. I think what can happen is the anticipation that the car that appears to, loses the back end a little bit, instead of letting up because you think that the car can, because you know the car can save itself. In the past, you just keep right on cruising, and the car in front of you that started to spin would just spin out. And I think
Right.
that with this newer game where you can actually save that as the driver behind, if you see somebody kind of lose the back end, you got to be aware that they got a good chance of saving it. You can't just expect to dart through there and the car won't be there.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
No, I don't know if I make any sense, so please tell me if I don't.
No, I actually like that. It's like, that's actually pretty clever thought you've got there. Just because of like like if the last I don't know year or so you've been racing and used to cars. Well, every time I see someone do that, I just rip right by them.
Yep.
But not anymore, right?
No, in seasons past as well, we had ghosting on. And so without it on now, you just got to be aware. You just have to be aware that you might see a car kind of lose the back end a little bit, but you can't just drive through. The car is hopefully going to save it. The guy's going to save his car. So I don't know if that's what happened, but that's something I picked up on when the couple times that I almost lost it. I realized as I saved it, the car coming up behind me, I had to stay wide. If I went back to where I wanted to be, I would have probably caused a collision. So, and looking in my mirror, I can see that because of what happened to me, the driver behind me was now going to be right beside me. So I had to kind of stay where I was.
Well, I'll tell you one thing it's done is it sort of has given everybody a fair crack at this thing now. We kind of got almost everybody on the same terms, and that should make the race a little more interesting.
Except for Gord and Spada.
Anyone who lost ground or had damage can now kind of regain those losses that they inherited. And hopefully they can make the best of it.
So this might help out Janet a little bit. Gord Sauce is not slow, right? I mean his tires are significantly older than these other guys, but you can't expect that Say is just going to drive right by him. So there's not necessarily the roadblock, but I think there's the obstruction, I guess, or what's the word I'm looking for? Say just doesn't have a wide open track in front of him. He's got an obstacle. He needs to get around him, and Janet, obviously, he knows that. And I think this is Janet's. This is a good chance. There's a good chance that Janet could maybe make something happen here to get by Say.
All right, green flag. We are racing. Gord has put the power down. Say with a lot of wheel spin there as he tried to get the power down. And here comes Carson, the wild card. You were expecting Janet to try and get a good jump, and here comes Carson trying to get himself in the mix here. This could get ugly.
Good job by Gord. He protected the inside.
Oh. Yeah, Janet and Carson wheel to wheel into the first turn there. Really dicey stuff, but both guys held their line nice.
Eesh. Yeah, I think. Oh no, Gortsas went a little wide, and now Say's got the inside, fresher tires, and yeah, man, that was really tough for Gortsas to protect.
Oh,
And
Jeanette,
Carson's got.
Jeanette almost went for it on Say there. It looked like he just took a huge shot at it. Saw maybe a
Yeah.
door open.
So now you got Gortsas on Janet's tail, and he's holding on pretty well.
Lord Sauce
It,
is sitting duck right now. Looks like he's about to get picked off by Lunar and Sniper. He's in big trouble. Did you mean Carson's right on Jeanette?
that's what I said. I thought.
Oh,
But
okay.
I,
I may
I,
have heard I may have heard Gord.
yeah, I could have easily messed that up too. But yeah, no, I meant Carson. He's been able to hold on. Just as I say that, now he's fallen back a little bit. But if he could stay within that DRS range for another lap and a half, that
So
would
Lunar
serve
gets
him
by
well.
Gord. Jeanette did not have a look there, so he'll tuck in. It looks like they may both be running a slippery setup because they really pulled away from Carson once they got down that main straight. Carson is closing back in again now.
Yeah.
So maybe
So it's hard to
Carson is
tell.
more of a grippy setup, whereas Jeanette and Say are trying to run slippery. I mean, even that's sort of a little poker match every week, eh? Like a little chess game you play with your rivals. You know, oh, so-and-so likes to run like this, so I'm going to do the opposite this week and see if I can trigger him. And maybe that week he decides to switch it up.
Well, I mean, Janet
Decides to
used to
switch
do
it up.
that on a weekly basis. He would always go with the reverse strategy. Oh, Gortsas got a 3-second penalty. But in the last 2, 3, 4 seasons, he has not been doing that. That's not been in his arsenal of tricks.
I find it
Bag of
generally
tricks.
is like if he's at the back, you can almost guarantee he's going to do it. But if you qualify at the front, you need to just give yourself the best chance to be at
Yeah.
the front of the field, right? So.
Yep.
And Gord's just dropping like a stone here. You know, it's one of those things where you think it's a clever idea, but grip is king in this game, and if you're 10 laps less grip, like you're just there's almost no way you're going to avoid it. Now,
Lunar's caught up to Carson.
so that's probably the one observation I've taken from this game this year is that trying to run these sneaky strategies where like you're on the wrong tire with the grip level compared to everyone else, it does seem to hurt. It's just not paying off. Like the grip difference is so
Something's
present, you know.
Yeah. I don't know what was happening to Spot Up, but man, he got overtaken quickly by RC. Ow. And Gortsas is really slipping and sliding.
Lunar by Carson. Yeah, I suppose if there's another safety car, Gord. I mean, really, he's just lost his track position at this point, right? Like,
Yeah.
he was what, P5? He would have been better off just. Here's the other problem though, is he can't take those mediums to the end from here. So maybe it's not. Honestly, like it sounds silly, but I didn't even really think of the aspect of the fact that you're not getting to the end on the mediums anyways. So why pit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was kind of.
Him.
I don't think we really should, because I think you touched upon just that. I think he was stuck. He was damned if he did, and he was damned if he didn't. I mean, the only thing he could have done if he had another set of hards was pit and get on a new set of hard tires. But otherwise, yeah, if whatever he did, he was going to be on a tire that was not going to get him to the end. Spot Up looking to pass Gord now.
Yeah, it's a nice little battle going on at the back here, and we got two nice little scraps at the front as well. Now Zamaglis has pit. Why did he do that? Did he pick up more damage, or is he
I
thinking
didn't
maybe just
notice.
like
I don't know.
get
I'm
on
just
some
picking
fast
up on the
tires and
fact,
go to the end?
maybe. I mean, I'm just picking up on that as well as you were saying it.
I mean, he's in the points already, so he doesn't have a ton to lose, really.
Right,
Villeneuve won't
because...
count, right?
Okay, yep. So here's, you know, in seasons past, not necessarily last season, but, you know, 2-3 seasons ago and beyond that, there was always, you know, it was either Packer or it was Dylan, but the leader was always driving away. This year and last year, like you touched upon, where Chinnett and Say, they, you know, they're always right together. Well, we've been treated really for 2 seasons now with battles for the lead throughout the race.
Yeah.
Where we didn't have that in the past, or not as often. I mean, I don't know. Man, to be Say right now, I'd be like, geez, I'm Crow Chinnett, please leave me alone.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you ever just take a night off? Do you ever just come not totally prepared to win? You ever come just like 80% of yourself? Never.
No, nope. And it's awfully hard to drive like with somebody like Chinnett behind you, or just anybody that close to you. I mean, you want to focus. Oh, and Chinnett just got a 3-second penalty. Ooh.
Yeah, that's rough. He
but
has
you
to
don't.
do something now.
Yeah, you don't want to be. You want to be focused on going forward, and if you're trying to do both, that's when you can make a mistake. And so I you know, my hat's off to him. He's been able to pretty much drive mistake free with Chinnett right on his butt. And, you know, Chinnett keeps getting DRS too. And this time he's got him. Wow. I wonder if Say's listening to me and he just said, okay, maybe he's right. Maybe I ought to let Chinnett go by and maybe he'll make the mistake.
Yeah, I suppose. Like, that's... GP's on his game tonight. He's coming up with all the racing theories. All these thoughts that you know, just thinking outside the box tonight, GP. I'm on board with this. How do I bring this guy out every week?
We have
Just talk about Senna for a bit before the race starts.
I think Carson had a problem here.
Yeah, he did. He was off the road there. You can see his Red Bull. He actually looks like his floor might be damaged, but I don't think we have that on. So.
Almost seemed like Spot Up, like just kind of let him by.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe that's why Carson was a little off the track there. Maybe there was some sort of...
Spot Up wasn't anywhere near him though, was he?
I don't know. I saw that there was a yellow, and by the time I got over there, all I could see was that Carson had regained it and then easily passed Spot Up. So I don't know. So Chinnett with the fastest lap, and he is now starting to assert his speed. His what's the word I'm looking for? His grittiness. Gritty. He just does not. Well, yeah. Whoa, a little slippery there.
Unrelenting pace. Yeah, that was a big ball.
Yeah, I mean, Chinnett.
Well, here you go though. You put him, like you said, like he may be a better driver when he's right behind you. You let him go in front. Now the pressure's on him. Maybe that works out better.
Yeah. So
he makes that mistake that puts him on the grass and he's out of your hair for a bit.
Yeah, but Say needs to prove to Chinnett that he's not going anywhere. If Chinnett keeps seeing that he starts to, you know, a tenth here, a tenth there, and next thing you know he's nearly out of DRS, you know, then he'll feel good about himself. But Say seems to be holding on, and you got another DRS section here. having a look. Just letting them know I'm here, Janet. I'm still here.
Yeah.
And the other thing
He
too.
probably could have tried there. He was pretty close. I think he was just not ready to push it.
One thing that I find is that if you are trying to keep somebody behind you, I've been apt to brake too late, compromise my corner entrance and exit and everything, and lose out that way. So when you are in front, and you're trying to keep somebody behind you, that's one of the things that I have to deal with. It's like, don't try to go so fast that you take yourself out of the proper line.
Yeah, basically, like, he still has to find a way by you. Don't give him anything cheap.
Right. Don't overdrive. Don't overthink it. Just keep hit your marks. And when we get to this point here, say, hey, still within half a second. I think last lap he was 3.5, maybe 4 tenths behind. So basically the same. And Lunar, I think Lunar has brought that gap. Oh, and there goes Seiya. He's got him.
Yep. Whoa.
And yeah, you see, Seiya was a little late on the brakes there. He could not get through the chicane the way he wanted to. And Lunar's brought that, I think it was almost 3 seconds. He's down to 2.2 now. And these guys battling in front of him, that's only going to help his cause.
Alpine looking pretty strong here, too. He said Carson spun on his own. This is what Jordan said. I guess that's Griffin. I'm guessing that's Big Toblerone. Probably Toblerone.
Okay.
He said, yeah, Carson spun on his own. But yeah, the Alpine's doing pretty good here. Sniper and RC, 4 and 5. That'd be big points for them if they can hang on to that. And I would imagine they will. Spot up triple shouldn't be too much of a problem on 11-lap-old mediums. I imagine he's going to have to pit again. If not, he won't really be a threat at all. Carson could be a problem.
So, in that vein, Sniper and RC are up 6 places and 8 places, respectively. Spot up.
Again. No, he's through. Okay, so we're doing the leapfrog thing.
And if they keep doing that, again, Lunar has a chance to join them. Oh, Gortsart's another penalty. Let's see, what do we got for penalties here? 3 seconds for Jinnit, 3 seconds for RC, 6 seconds for Villeneuve, Gordsauce with 6, and Zem with 3. This is our closest battle. I want to go back and see some of these other guys, give them some time here, but I mean, our nearest battle towards the back is Carson, who's 1.3 seconds behind a spot up. Everybody else is even further back, so sorry guys, gonna go back to the front.
Yeah, I think Seiya's got this thing under control for the most part. His battery's in much better shape. Jinnit has that penalty. It just really doesn't look like Jinnit's going to be able to shake him. And we're running out of time. He's got about 8 laps to get rid of Seiya. Seiya going to take the lead again. So now Jinnit really, maybe like kind of do what you were saying. Just sit behind Seiya. Don't overtake him. And try to make him make a mistake, and maybe he picks up a time penalty.
Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, these two right now, they both got to be thinking, what is it I got to do here if I want to win this race? They've already proven that they can play leapfrog pretty well. And they've just not been able to pull away either. So either one of them has to make a mistake. Another safety car maybe, forcing everybody to pit. Excuse me. Well, let's see if Leapfrog game continues. Yep. So, much like you pointed out, Janet's got 11% of batting life left, and Saye's at 54. And I don't think Saye's really using much at all.
No, he's really on top of it. He must be consciously making the effort to make sure he leaves himself some.
History shows that he is really good at preserving his battery.
And I don't. Is out. Was that in the pits?
Oh, yeah, it looks like he's in the pits. Oh, that's too bad. Started out promising, but so Janet's back in front. Surprise, surprise. And Lunar's still hanging in there.
I can't remember who was there last lap either, so it's back and forth, back and forth.
Back and forth, yeah. And but Lunar's still hovering there. He's like two seconds back. Really, I mean, these two in front of him, if they get into a situation where they are trying to make the overtake, like here, and nope, they get by, where they end up having to slow down because they're side. Oh, was that?
That was bad.
That was close, huh?
Yeah, that was Gord's DNF car, eh?
I thought it was. Was it?
There's no ghosting on, so they could have hit it, man. That was his car that he DNF'd and it just drove itself out of the pits, right? So that's another thing we need to consider about retiring in the pits as well with the ghosting on. Like, we need to make sure that the drivers are aware of that, right? Like, if you see someone
there goes Janet.
Oh,
and he saved it. He saved it, but there goes Lunar. And that
there
was
it is. There's the mistake.
Yeah.
But with the penalty, I mean, it's all but over now.
Yeah, I mean, who knows how many? I mean, maybe Saye's sitting on a couple warnings as well, but yeah. So Lunar all of a sudden now is P2, no penalties. Saye is kind of sitting comfortably now. He doesn't need to be looking in his mirror so much anymore. That Janet's got to be seething. That was a self-inflicted wound.
Yeah, he was.
And it happened right where we were talking about earlier that the game has improved so that there weren't any spin-outs there. That right-hander uphill with the quick, subtle left there. Yeah, it was right at that crest where he turned left a little bit and he spun sideways. But he was able to save it. He didn't even go all the way around. He just kind of slid sideways off the track a little bit and came back on.
Yeah, it was probably the fact that he slid off onto the grass more than anything, right? If it was tarmac there, he'd probably been probably still P2, I would think.
So suddenly we have spot up triples. He wants to have a conversation with Carson, but Carson's like, "No, leave me alone." And spot up says, "Well, I'm within DRS, dude. You'll be talking to me soon."
Yeah, it's weird, eh? Like, something else we've noticed too is that once both tires get to a certain life of a certain wear level, it seems like they sort of balance out a little bit, because we've seen this where guys are on the softer compound deep in the race and both tires are kind of past their prime, and then the softer compound kind of comes back to life.
Weird.
It is weird. It's a strange game. Like, if people were listening to us talk about these things, I bet you could build them into your race strategy and you could pull it off, like make some sneaky moves, right? Because like it's working for spot up right now.
Yeah, so
patterns. They're patterns that have noticed, right? So
yeah.
I mean, this is our 5th race of the season. Like, I mean, starting to notice things now, right?
So looking up at the lead here, so Lunar was, after the incident with Janet, well, not the incident with Janet, but after Janet spun, Luna was 2.5 seconds behind Seiya. So has something happened to Seiya? Does he have damage or something? No, his wing looks fine.
Yeah, maybe tire management. Possibly. Battery battle is favoring Seiya by a
Seiya.
fair margin, but
Yeah.
when you make the pass on the last lap, it might be the only one that counts. So we could have a drag race to the finish line at this track, actually.
Potentially.
The way that their overtakes have been happening right at that. Uh, I guess they get enough of a run. Yeah, there might be.
Yeah, Lunar's just going to have to start saving his battery. Oh, Luna just got a 3-second penalty. Oh, man. All right, Luna just play for second now, I guess.
Yeah, Janet's not really a problem behind now, so... I've seen Janet go quicker, but I wouldn't let Lunar shouldn't let off the gas too much, but he doesn't really need to push anymore.
Right, yeah. I mean, maybe if there were another 8 laps more than what we have now, you know, maybe he can get close and force A into potential mistake, but...
Whoa!
What do we got?
Did you see that save? Lunar was slipping all over the place through that chicane there.
Oh, nope, I did not, and I can see that he did lose quite a bit of time.
They had a big snap. Probably that spot where people were spinning last year, and he just caught it there. Pretty good race overall. Kind of fizzled out at the end there, but not too bad. Not too bad at all. Been a pretty entertaining season so far.
Oh, absolutely. I think that this new game, I mean, we've talked about this before, and we talked about it tonight, the fact that you can save a car if you start to spin. I think that that's really improved the racing. I mean, if you start to spin in the pass, you're out, basically. But, you know, Jennett, he spun, and he only lost 1 position. However, that 1 position cost him 3 points to say. I didn't check out the standings. I forgot to do that before the race. I'm sure it's close. Actually, I got time. What do we got for standings here? Tier 1 standings. Got to put the bifocals on. Or the single focals. After Monza, let's see. Jennett, wow, Jennett had a 21-point lead over Seiya. So Jennett is in first with 89. Seiya is in second with 68. Carson is in third with 45. Wreckdiver, who is not here tonight, 37. Gordsauce in 5th with 32. Lunar Jedi in 6th with 18. Spot Up with 17. Spin and Win, 15. Zem, 14. And Sniper rounds out the top 10 with 14. Then you got Scavney, Quaminator, Damn Sam, Adri, Private, T-Money, RC, and Rockstar. All have points. Mr. Joshua, Extra City, Rex, and Asylum, who has not made a race yet, have yet to score a point.
Asylum said 100% he'd be here next week, so
Gonna hold him to it.
I don't live to it. I got third of the season by that point. You better show up.
I don't live far away. I'll go fucking kick his door down and say, plug that game in. Let's go.
Drive over there at 7:30.
Yep.
I see you're home. I know you're home. I know you're home.
Looking in the window.
You're playing Call of Duty. Why aren't you in here racing?
Oh no, Lunar got a 3-second. No, oh, wait a minute here. What do we got? Is that Lunar's second?
Yeah.
Penalty? Ooh, now.
And I think Jennett made another mistake. It looks like something may have happened. 6 seconds off now.
Yeah, but all right. So Lunar's still safe. He's got 6 seconds, but Jennett's got 3 as well. So, well, alrighty then. We're on our last lap. You know, all in all, Lunar fell back quite a bit after the first 2 or 3 laps, fell back, I think, to fourth, maybe even fifth, but certainly fourth, after having one pole. And so for him, this is, I'd be happy. You know, you didn't take pole to the victory lane, but you got second. And Jennett's going to be like, what could have been? And say he's like, I'm tired. Well, this is
That's it. Say wins it. Lunar Jedi will bring it home in P2. Jinnit will pick up a podium. Sniper brings it home in fourth.
Good finish for
Nice drive
RC.
for Sniper and RC. Yeah, he brought it home in fifth. RC finally does the job. It's been a while since RC had a decent result, so that's good.
I think that, man, I don't want to... Oh, who's that? That's Jennett's Ferrari there.
Yeah, someone's trying. Someone will get him.
Oh yeah, that was. Oh, I missed that. That was fun when guys would come in and clean them out. Let's go. Who do we got coming across here? Zem. Come on, Zem, you can do it. Okay, yeah, there. Oh, come on. We got one more. Villeneuve, you listening? Stay to the right-hand side of the track.
Jinnit's so far beyond the line that I don't think anybody can.
Oh yeah, you're probably right.
Themselves right at him.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. You're right.
He was close. He was the closest. I think he must have heard us too. Actually, yeah. There's a bit of a delay between what they're doing and what they hear. So
yeah. Yeah. There's probably 8 seconds.
RC driver of the day. I'm posting that in the Discord.
Hey, we're done in almost record time. Look at that. According to my clock, it's only 17 after 9 Eastern.
Yeah, that's not too bad for 2 safety cars. You got some questions lined up there, GB?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why'd you do that? Why didn't you do this? No, I have no questions. I just wing it.
Alright, that's what I thought.
You can't tell?
No, I could tell.
I do the best I can to remember things that happened during the race, but I'm so into trying to watch everybody that, you know, the eventual race winner, a lot of times it's like, oh, geez, I really didn't pay much attention. But I guess after 3 seasons, 4 seasons, people kind of understand what they're going to get with me.
RC started 13th, eh? Look at that. How's that for a drive? Have a day.
Yeah, and spot up as well. Private, a lot of guys moved up. Villeneuve even.
Say Lunar and Jinnit. There we go. That's a good little podium. Oh, pleasant.
Pardon me. Oh, you did fine. All right. Well, if Jinnit comes to join us, he'll be able to go to bed early because he's third on the podium rather than first, so he saved himself 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah, Lunar, Say and Jinnit. How's it going, Lunar? Now, I recognize your voice. It hasn't been that long. Oh, well, good. Yeah, you know, good. We got some... he's got some explaining to do. Yeah, there you go. Lunar, feel free, Lunar. Yeah, that's a tough one. I can't really see starting on hard tire. That's tough. All right, so we got say, hey, Lunar. We got. Do you think Janet's coming? He hasn't missed any interview opportunities. The Brit. And if Gord Sauce comes in, let's let Lunar interview Gord. What do you think? Yeah, why not? All right. So, yeah, well, without creativity. All right, Lunar. Geez, you are you disappointed? I mean, you got the pole position, but I think you lost that right out of the gate at the lights out, and say I got the better jump on you. So, you disappointed in that respect? No. Yeah. Big and I were, as we were watching the battle between Say and Jinnit with you behind them, I was like, geez, man, Luna just wants these guys. Because I don't know if you could tell, but Say and Jinnit just kept basically playing leapfrog from like lap 23 on. And, oh, go ahead. Yeah. 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 Uh, yeah, this is a secret, so don't tell anybody. Say he's really good with saving his battery. So. Yeah, he didn't have to. Yep. So as they were, so as we were watching this unfold in front of us with you in third, Lunar, my thought was, okay, Say and Jenna just playing leapfrog, and Becca and I are like, well, this is like lap after lap, and I was like, what you needed was for there to be a little bit more of a battle going into that first turn after the front straight DRS, and it just never played out. It just they were able to overtake each other with relatively comfortably. There was one time I thought Say on the pass was. Kind of went a little deep, and it compromised his left turn, right turn, and then exit. So, but yeah, that's what you really needed. But I agree, the fact that they were getting the DRS, they were just able to kind of, and the way they would, it worked out for them. You couldn't catch them. Oh yeah. Well, Well, Luna, here's the wonderful thing. They didn't crash each other out or create an incident report because they are always so darn close to each other that inevitably there's a little bit of contact. Never egregious. It just happens. And tonight it didn't. I mean, it's just great. Again, I was talking to Big about that. The battles that we've had at the front, we have not had this great 1 through 5 competition at the top in years past. Maybe the last 2 or 3 seasons, it's really begun to pick up. But it's been fantastic. So congratulations, pole position. I wish we can give you a point for that. But still, P2. That's good. Well, congrats. So let's go to the race winner. Say A. Wake up. Wake up. Stop playing NBA 2K23. Congratulations, Say. Oh my God, what a battle with you and Janet. You guys were almost never out of DRS of each other. Yeah, it's awesome. So, so I think I'm just going to pick a lap. It was roughly, we'll say, around lap 24 or so, that you and Janet really started to get into the leapfrog back and forth. And so Big and I were talking, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm asking Janet, Big, I'm like, what do you do? Do you, as one of those two drivers, I assume at that point you start trying to come up with a strategy where if we're going to keep leapfrogging, what do I need to do to get the upper hand for that last lap? So was that something that was going through your mind as that started to unfold? So throughout the first half of the race, it seemingly, Janet was right on your butt. And again, I was commenting to Bigga, it's like, I wouldn't, that's awful hard to drive with somebody so close behind you all the time where you have to focus on hitting your marks, but you also have to be aware of the guy behind you. How was that really kind of playing with your mind at all, or were you just looking forward, or how did that play out for you? Yeah, it was. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you've shown us that you have that mental toughness, because I don't know what I would do with Janet behind me all the time like that. That would, it's a lot of stress that I probably couldn't deal with. So excellent. Kudos to you for being able to deal with that and not making the mistake. Unfortunately, not that anybody wanted to see it. Jeanette had that little slip, saved it, only dropped one position, let you breathe a lot easier, and I'm sure Luna felt pretty good about regaining at least one position. But all in all, great race, you guys. 9:30 Eastern. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to pass it over to Arbiga. And congrats, guys. See you, boys. Great job. See you, Bigger. You bet. You got it. See you, Bigger.